everyone, it's Maury Curtis Dunbar here. Welcome back to Painted Studio. It's Saturday, it's about 105 degrees out, and we've been blowing breakers all day. So I thoroughly expect one to blow at least once today during this live, if not more than that, because they've been popping nonstop. We're in an old building, and when gets hot like this, the only thing I can do is turn the lights out and hope the air conditioning works. And unfortunately, even the strain then is a lot. You all know how air conditionings in old buildings work. It's kind of challenging. So let's hope we can do this and it stays light out, or light at least in here. And I'm going to angle this now because you can see I have a board up. We are working on Sexy Saturday here, and we definitely don't mean me by that. We're going to create a sexy finish. And each Saturday, I'm going to do something else that I consider sexy, meaning fabulous. It's breathtaking. It gets your attention. It's attractive, things that you'd like, but maybe just a little bit out there, a little unique. So that's what we're going for today. Now you can see I have a black board up here. And what I have done is with the black set coat as a base, and I'm not showing this step because I had to turn off my heater for the hot box for drying these because it kept, again, blowing my breakers. So we're not going to try to do anything that requires things to dry during the live. All right, so what I did is I took a 4-inch whiz roller and our luster stone from Faux Effects in black diamond and rolled it 100% over the board. Let me see if I can zoom it in and you can see some of that texture. You can see it's just been rolled on, so it's got kind of a stippled texture, which is what we want. Zoom back out. All right, so what that does, this is the basic scratch coat that I always use when I use luster stone. I don't trowel a coat on, I roll my very first coat on. Gives a little texture, a little tooth, a little something for the plaster to grab onto. And you can tell I'm very warm, so you're gonna have to live with seeing my bra straps at the same time because, again, when the air conditioner is not working its best, neither am I. So then I'm going to take some black diamond, and black diamond is Faux Effects' blackest luster stone. They have an ebony frost, but it's more pewter than black. This is really quite black when you put it on. All right, so if I was doing this for just a pure luster stone wall finish, and for those of you who don't know, luster stone is a metallic plaster and it has wonderful highs and lows. You can trowel it on, you can put it through a stencil, it holds its shape really, really well. It's interior rated, not exterior. So when you do a standard 3-layer luster stone finish, you roll on a scratch coat, then you trowel on a movement coat, and then you tightly backfill. What we're doing today is we're skipping that movement coat because we're going to put something over this, and we're going in for the tight backfill. Now, you saw me using a lot of snaky movements, a lot of zigzagging around and coming back. And I've got a virtually smooth finish on here. Little texture, but not much. And this snaky movement helps to add final movement to this. Meaning that when this dries, all those soft curves that you saw me do will reflect back in the light, and that's important. I don't do this, I don't do square verticals and horizontals because that's not attractive in the final finish. So this is finished for this layer. We're going to set this, pull this off. And yeah, I extra tape sometimes because I'm really wide with my trowel, meaning I go way over the edge a lot when I do samples. So I try to put a little extra tape down to keep me from making such a big mess. All right, I gotta peel this tape off my fingers. And I'll take this down. And I'll show you a closer up of the board. You can see how little texture. You can see that this is virtually smooth. The only movement on it really is the directions from pushing the plaster around with my trowel. Set that down. That one can go over there. And voila. Oh no, it dried suddenly. No, I prepped it ahead of time. I'm sure you all figured that out. Of course, I've set my roll of tape down, so now I can't find that. There we go. So I'm going to tape this up and whatever the next step. This is like I want to say it's probably a 3-layer finish at the most. As long as you're not including putting on your base paint, which I have never included as a layer when I design finishes. Oh, I probably just put black on my eyebrow. Yeah. I just stuck my finger in the plaster and then scratched my eyebrow. Now, if I say something that doesn't make sense or you have any questions, please ask them. I'm happy to answer any questions because I have a lot of stuff that rattles around in my head and I don't always remember it and it doesn't always come out of my mouth the right way. So definitely ask questions, post questions. If I don't answer them verbally here in the live, I come back and answer them in writing. Also, as a faux effects instructor, I have this. And what this is all our technical sheets. So if you have questions on almost any faux effects product, or you need a text sheet sent to you, reach out to me. I have all of them except probably the very newest products, and that's because when I was teaching for Martin, we hadn't started doing classes with the newest products yet. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. But definitely you can reach out to me. I'm happy to share them. If you have a product that you're not familiar with that you're ordering from me, I'll tuck it into your order so you always have it. And no, I will not make you a whole copy of my book. That's one of the things I got when I trained as an instructor. I'm not making copies of it. There's like 250 pages in there, and some of the products are now discontinued. All right. Well, that was genius of me. I'm sure you, maybe if I used new tape, not used tape. I try to reuse tape when I can, just because we throw so much of it away. Hey, Eva. Hey, Lori. Nice to see you. All right, let's try this again. I really only need the tape to stick this up. So this is the finish I showed you with the luster stone. If I needed it to be shinier, even though my trowel's a little dirty at the moment, I'm gonna flip my trowel on the other side so I have a clean side. I can come back in, burnish it a little. It gets a few more highs and lows in it if I wanted that. I don't at the moment, so that's not a big deal. And then I'm going to take some lace. And I buy this, Joann Fabrics, your local fabric store. This is very cheap lace. As in, this is not the lace I'd want for clothing because it's super stiff and inexpensive feeling. However, for using it on this, it's perfect. Why? Because it's so stiff, I can actually tape it and it doesn't drape and it doesn't shift. So I'm taping a little lace on there. So already we've made our board sexier. We put it in lace. All right, so let me grab my other products. Where are they? Need this, and I need this. Hang on just a second, I need one more trowel. thought I put 2 trowels up here. I only put 1. So I'll move that out of the way. So the next thing I did, I used our, where is it? Everything's out of my reach today because I put it all back here working on it earlier. We took our Artsyville gel medium. Now Artsyville gel medium in the container is like other art gel mediums. It's white and gelatinous. And you can use this on its own plain, or you can mix pigments into it because it takes pigments really, really beautifully. I use our Primary Elements pigments and keep them in a little stash around here, but these are our Primary Elements pigments. And these are designed specifically to dissolve in water-based products. We have a couple other products that work both with resin and water-based, and they're called the Bling It pigments from Primary where are these resin? God, Color Art. I can't even talk today. So we have some of those, but the regular Primary Elements are only light stable inside. Do not even put this stuff in the window; it will fade. But what I did, I had this idea. Now I haven't tried this, so it's either going to be awesome or it's going to be terrible. And as you can see, I pre-mixed the colors, and the reason I pre-mix the colors instead of showing it to you on here is that powdered pigments can need a little time to bloom, meaning you put them in the medium and they need some time to absorb the moisture. So I mix it and leave it, and you can see all those little dark spots in there. Those are bigger chunks of pigments that hadn't dissolved in my first mixing. So I mixed these, like an hour ago and walked away from it and let it bloom a little bit so that I could stir it up and get a consistent color. Let's get these on the edges. This color is called Love Struck. It's gorgeous. This color is a combination of sunshine yellow, golden diamond, Indian spice, and ginger peach, because I wanted a gold color and it was either turning too orange or too yellow, so I had to play with it a little bit to get a balance. Now we're gonna trowel this on here. And something occurred to me, and I'll probably remember it halfway through, that I'm going to be really bummed that I don't remember it now. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to show you what these colors looked like cured. Hang on just a second. Okay. Now these colors are going to dry translucent. So here's the golden mixture dried. See how pretty that is? And here's the red, dried. Now this is going to be on a black background, so when it cures, it's going to dry darker, which is going to make it kind of gothic and mysterious and all those wonderful things that I think would look so good through this lace. All right, I have got my red on my trowel, and again, those not familiar with troweling, when you hold the trowel this way, you only put a little bit on the edge. You put it on the edge in the middle. You don't put it up here, you don't put it down here unless you have a specific spot that you need to trowel in with the very tip. And you're holding it this way. So if you're right-handed and you're holding the trowel, you're gonna place the product, when it's facing you, on the left-hand side. Why? Because when you flip it over, it's on the other side. I'm left-handed, so I placed my product on the right-hand side. So when I turn it over, it's on the left. And I'm going to just take this first bit and smear it in the middle. And I'm troweling it around. I am going in no specific pattern. I'm not worrying if my lace shifts a little because I already expect to have some bleeding. And once we get enough of the product on, this won't shift at all. Because the product actually kind of absorbs into the lace and keeps it from moving. So this is going to be a lot of red, and then whatever doesn't, whenever I run out of the red, I'm going to patch it in with the gold. And I really don't know how this is going to look because I haven't done this one this way before. I have an idea in my head what I'm going to get, but I've been wrong. Last time I was wrong was 1980 something. I think I was still in high school. I thought I knew the answer, every answer to my Macbeth test, and I only knew 98% of them. Still was the only A in the class. So I'm having my nephew stay with us this week. It's been wonderful. I've missed him. He gets with us, actually staying with us for 2 weeks, which is going to be just wonderful. I miss him so much. You know, he's like my second son. I was never fortunate enough to have another child, but my sister had a couple, so I steal hers from time to time. Call them my own. So Teddy's my second son. He's our extra boy. And if those of you who watched me long enough might remember that he came and lived with me about 5 years ago for a year. It was awesome. I miss my kids. So you can see I have used up, sorry. I don't bend over very easily since my back issues, but I do get down there. It's just slow. So I basically used up all my red, and wherever the red isn't is where I'm going to put the gold. And yeah, they're going to overlap, so we'll have some blur and bleeding, and it'll be kind of cool. And you'll notice I'm not even wiping off my trowel. I'm just putting the next color on because I know these are all going to blur and blend and smush together, and it'll sort of end up looking very fiery, which is what I was going for. And yeah, I kind of do know it's going to look like crap before I pull the lace off. Why? Because it's like pulling the tape on a job. Everything looks just awful until you pull the tapes. Well, this just looks awful until you pull the lace. And I know a lot of you have done this before, but not everybody has, and I like to share these ideas as they pop into my busy little brain. And remember, this is going to dry deeper, darker, glossier, and way more metallic than what you're seeing right now. Now, I have done this on big walls, and I gotta tell you, it's a two-person job on a big wall because the fabric gets heavy when it gets goopy. You're doing this on a big project on a wall. Have lots of the fabric, have buckets of water to drop in the fabric once it's gotten covered in goop, as I'm so charmingly calling our products. And you're going to want another body to help you because it's not going to be easy with big pieces of fabric. I've done it by myself, and I'm still not sure how I did it. Some of these jobs nearly kill me, and no, I don't have pictures of it. I'm kind of funny. Sometimes I get these jobs that it doesn't matter how beautiful the work came out. If it killed me, I don't take pictures of it because I just don't want to remember it. All right, so we've got this all troweled on. I've used basically 100% of my product. I'm pulling that tape off the corners because, as you can see, once the product starts moving through the lace, it sticks the lace to the surface, and then it doesn't shift around either. All right, when you pull lace on something, oh, I missed a corner there. Let me get that little spot. It's gonna bug me that I missed the corner. And I will have a little lace issue up at the top because the lace slid earlier. So when you pull the lace down, you don't lift it from the bottom and flip it back this way. You pull it down, because then if, God forbid, you lose your grip, it doesn't flop back. Okay, first of all, that's already cool. Second, that lace will go back into the sink, it will get washed, and it'll be perfectly reusable again. Okay, so that is super cool. Let me zoom in on that for you if I can get it closer. Of course it doesn't. There we go. Now you can see it a little closer there. Sorry, I'm flipping the camera around. So you got all this wonderful detail from the lace. And what you're not going to realize here is once the white of this clears, this is going to get deeper and richer and darker. So I'm going to pull the tapes. It'll already look better once I pull the tapes, because, you know, we all know everything looks better when the tapes are pulled. Look how gorgeous that is already. I personally think that's very sexy. Now, we have some very distinct lines here, but we also have some soft fades. So if you don't like all of these very sharp lines, you do more blending of the colors. Hold on. So if you don't like these more defined areas of color, you blend them more like we have in here. I'm going to wait until tomorrow to reserve my judgment on how I like this drying. Sorry, got to get rid of the tape from my hands. Let's move this back a little bit, and I can finish talking with you guys. So this came out basically exactly the way I thought it would. It looks very intense right now. It will dry down to more subtle color reactions tomorrow, because all of that gel medium has to turn clear. And right now, so this gold is very bright and very bold, and the red is very intense, but it'll pull back and soften. So I think we're gonna have a really lovely finish out of this one when it dries. All right, let me pull that down. And I'm gonna set this one to the side to dry. Now there was one other thing I wanted to share with you all. If you were with me on Wednesday, we had Work It Out Wednesday, and we used our resin art pigments to tint the epoxy for the cups, and I promised I'd show everybody. Well, what happened is we had, like I said, old building breaker issues. We had power problems that night, so when I came in the next morning, these had all dried with big spikes, and all the epoxy had settled to one side. So I had to take a Dremel, sand off all the dribbles, level everything out, and we did new secondary color coatings, which, by the way, yeah, I'm glad I did it because it made the colors even more intense. So here is the, I don't know how I got there, but it came out great. Blue, looks sort of little like the planet. And here is our pink orange creamsicle-y kind of one. So they both came out great. Just needed a second coat. Second coat was applied literally the same way we did the first one. I'm sorry, you're getting like you're getting like my head cut off. So that we did the second coat exactly the same way we did the first one. Only we didn't lose power that night, and so they turned properly. And actually I did them in the morning so I could watch the turning all day, just to make sure, because, you know, the heat is killing our power breakers. What can I tell you? Anyway, so again, remember, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. And also check out our contest. I posted a video yesterday, and so you need to be sprinkling that video. It needs 25 shares for the contest to be valid. Doesn't matter how many times you share, just gotta share and share and share. As soon as we get 25 shares on yesterday's video, the one I did with the Free Friday finish, doesn't matter how many times it gets shared, it just has to make it up to 25. And then you come back to that post and post the word sprinkled. Okay? Share, sprinkle the love on yesterday's Free Finish Friday video. Come back to that video and post underneath it the word sprinkled. And that gives you an entry every time you do that, and we will check to make sure you have done the sprinkling. You can sprinkle, and every time you do that, that's an entry. And we will do the drawing next Friday. With that drawing, you will receive a 10-ounce texture medium, a 10-ounce metallic plaster, and one of our orange impression rollers of your choice. But we have to get that many shares. If we get to 24 and nobody sprinkles the 25th, no contest. So please exercise that button, and please do it with this one too. We like to spread it around. The more sprinkles, the more we can do contests. I think I got paint on my nose. The more sprinkles, the more contests, and we love being able to give stuff away. All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay cool. I can't believe we didn't blow a breaker because I've blown them 6 times today. I've been counting. Thank goodness. I'm going to go sit in front of an air conditioner and try not to pass out from heat exhaustion. I will post the picture of this finish tomorrow or on Monday. Well, maybe not until Tuesday because tomorrow and Monday are my days off. I'm going to go faint somewhere. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great Saturday. Bye.